The moment I saw flashing red and blue lights outside my house, I knew something was horribly wrong. My 7-year-old son had just set up a tiny lemonade stand outside our lawn, his summer dream. And now, HOA officers were pointing, shouting, and calling 911 like he was a criminal. My hand shook. Was this really happening? But what they didn't know was they had just messed with the wrong family, and karma wasn't going to wait. My name's Jamie, and I live in a quiet upscale neighborhood run by a not-so-quiet HOA, the kind that thinks they own every blade of grass on your property. My wife and I had moved here for our son, Miles. He's creative, sweet, and always trying to do something kind for others. This summer, he decided to set up a lemonade stand to raise money for a classmate whose dad had cancer. Innocent, right? He set up a little fold-out table on our front yard. A handmade cardboard sign read, 50 cents lemonade, all for Alex's dad. His little hands poured paper cups with care, and neighbors started stopping by, dropping off bills larger than the price, smiling and praising him. It was beautiful, until the HOA president showed up. Mrs. Latimer, a bleach-blonde, stiff-smiled woman in a golf cart, screeched to a halt near the curb. Without even saying hello, she pointed at my son's stand and yelled, "This violates Community Code 14B. Unauthorized commerce. Take it down now." I stepped outside calmly and said, "It's just a child helping someone. He's not running Amazon here." But she wasn't listening. She took out her phone and snapped pictures, even of my son's face. Miles hid behind me, frightened. I asked her to stop, but she doubled down. "If this isn't gone in 5 minutes, I'm calling law enforcement." I thought she was bluffing. She wasn't. 5 minutes later, a police cruiser pulled up. Miles started crying when the officer walked toward him. I felt my heart drop. I got between them instantly. The officer seemed confused. "We got a call about unauthorized selling and public endangerment." I turned to the officer and said, "Sir, my son is selling lemonade on our lawn for charity." Even the officer looked irritated at the waste of time. "Ma'am," he said to Mrs. Latimer, "this is not a criminal matter. It's a child." But she wasn't done. This child was attracting loiterers. He was disrupting the uniform image of our neighborhood. What she didn't know was my neighbor across the street was live streaming the entire scene. And what I didn't know was that neighbor had nearly 400,000 followers on TikTok. The video was posted before the officer even left. By sunset, the video had 200K views. By morning, over 1.2 million. People were outraged. She called the cops on a kid selling lemonade for cancer charity. That HOA president needs to be fired. This is America. Let the boys sell lemonade. It didn't stop there. News vans showed up. Reporters knocked on our door asking for statements. HOA board members started panicking. And then karma came fast and loud. An anonymous tip was sent to the county inspection office. Turns out, Mrs. Latimer's own backyard shed violated 3 local safety codes. Her husband's boat trailer was illegally parked on public easement property. And worst of all, her own house had been remodeled without the proper permits 5 years ago. The same HOA that fined people $25 for leaving their bins out too long was now in massive violation themselves. Board members began resigning. One by one, neighbors demanded a revote for HOA leadership. But Mrs. Latimer still held on barely. Then came the big twist. One of the board's whistleblowers, a sweet older man named Mr. Lopez, reached out to us secretly. He handed me a flash drive and said, "This will end her." I plugged it into my laptop. What I saw made my blood run cold. On that flash drive were recordings, actual video footage from the HOA's private meetings. They weren't just enforcing absurd rules. They were manipulating them, targeting certain families, especially renters, minorities, and anyone they felt didn't fit the image. And in one of those clips, clear as daylight, Mrs. Latimer herself said, "I don't care if it's for cancer or for Christmas. No ugly lemonade stands. This neighborhood is not a ghetto." That was it. That was the moment she doomed herself. I uploaded the footage to a secure folder and shared it with our neighbor, the same TikToker who'd gone viral with the lemonade video. She uploaded it with a caption, "This is the HOA president who called 911 on a child. Hear what she really thinks." It exploded online. Thousands of comments. Local news stations played the clip. Protesters showed up. Yes, actual protesters on the sidewalk outside the HOA office. People held signs that said, "Let kids be kids and shame on you, Latimer." By the end of the week, the board was forced to hold an emergency vote. Over 200 residents gathered in the community center, more than they'd ever had at any HOA meeting in history. And I stood up, holding that same lemonade sign my son had made, now laminated. "This stand," I said, holding it high, "raised $213 for a child's father battling cancer. What have any of you raised lately, besides your voices against kids?" The room went silent. Mrs. Latimer tried to defend herself, called it a misunderstanding, said the clip was taken out of context. But people weren't buying it anymore. She was removed from office with a unanimous vote. And then something unexpected happened. The board turned to me and asked if I'd be willing to serve as interim president while they restructured. I didn't want it at first, but when I looked at Miles sitting in the back, now smiling and clapping, I realized something. Sometimes good people need to step up, especially when bad ones get too comfortable. We cleaned house, new leadership, new rules, and most importantly, new respect for every family in our neighborhood. We created a youth-free zone policy. Any small initiative by kids, lemonade stands, car washes, lawn work, was automatically exempt from HOA restrictions as long as it was safe and on private property. Oh, and Miles, his lemonade fundraiser? After the news coverage, people from all over the state donated online. He raised over $27,000 for Alex's dad. And the next time the HOA had a community picnic, Miles was the guest of honor, with a golden pitcher and free lemonade for everyone. If this story fired you up and warmed your heart, hit subscribe to our channel. We've got new episodes every single day, and trust me, the next one is even wilder. See you tomorrow.